We're Cassie.
And Emily.
And this is Book Bits and Chill, a podcast where we talk about books, movies, and pop culture the way that you actually experience them.
This show is for type B readers, people who love stories but don't want the pressure, perfection, or the participation trophies.
Hit follow, grab a drink, and let's talk about it.
I'm pretty sure you can already hear how excited we are because today we are joined by an author whose newest novel completely took us by surprise in the best way possible.
If you have spent literally any time around the book world lately, chances are you've seen people talking about Into the Blue. It's a story about first love, second chances, found family, and two people connected by a fictional sci-fi television show in a way that somehow feels completely magical and unbelievably real.
It made us laugh, cry, stare into space, and immediately start texting each other about all of the deep emotions we were feeling.
And readers clearly agree. Into the Blue has become one of the biggest books of the year, earning a Reese's Book Club pick, more than 70,000 Goodreads rating, and introducing so many readers to Emma's unforgettable storytelling.
So today, we're sitting down with the incredibly talented Emma Brodie to talk about everything from writing a fictional fandom readers wish actually existed, balancing romance with literary fiction, improv, fan culture, and of course, all of the moments in this book that absolutely wrecked us.
Woo! Emma, we are so excited to have you here. For anyone meeting you for the very first time, can you introduce yourself in your own words?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for that intro. I feel like I should actually be like running through a pump up, like got
Space
like
Jam soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Emma Brodie. As they said, I wrote Into the Blue. Very happy to be here. Into the Blue is my second novel. I live on Martha's Vineyard. I am a Pisces. I'm a triple Pisces. And yeah. And I have a dog named Freddie Mercury and a husband. And those are like the very quick things about me.
Amazing.
Yes, it's important that you say a dog with his full name and then just say husband. That's important.
Yeah. Kevin. Yeah. My husband is Kevin, which is like, it's like the punchline name, like in every show when they want to introduce a character and they're like, he's terrifying, like blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, what's his name? It's like Kevin.
Kevin.
It's always Kevin.
I love this for Kevin, for your Kevin.
He's handsome and he's very handsome. It's very nice. It's a nice name.
Okay, Kevin.
Okay, Kevin. All right, give Kevin his flowers. All right, well, we're going to get into more about Emma through our vibe check. So this will be rapid fire questions where you can give us one word answers. You can elaborate wherever you want to, but we'll go quickly and we'll get to know a little bit more about you. So starting off with the most important question that we could possibly ask, what is the best Britney Spears song?
Oh my God. This is so funny. I really overthought this and then I was like, I'm just going to answer like whatever comes into my head when they ask.
100%.
Be like the true answer. So oops, I did it again was the
of course.
That's the moment of truth. Yeah.
I actually couldn't agree more. Toxic is maybe my second one, but oops, I did it again. You just can't. It's iconic.
It's iconic. Yeah. Well, Toxic's been very interpreted. Like, I feel like you've got like the Bridgerton remix with the like strings, which is very good too. But the Oops video.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's
okay. About romance. This is a big teen heartthrob romance. Are you team Edward or team Jacob?
Team Edward. Oh my God.
Duh. Emily's team Jacob. So
I'm team Jacob.
I mean, I'm just going to go with what our Pat said recently, which is that Team Jacob wasn't even real. Like, it was the marketing ploy. Like, I didn't know your kind existed. So I wanted more from you about like, why Jacob?
I cannot help myself when it comes to a tanned, muscly man. That's really what it comes down to.
It's true.
Yeah, that's real.
And I'm not getting that from Edward.
No, far from it. The polar opposite. Okay, we've talked about how you are a triple Pisces. So what were Noah and AJ's signs? And do you feel like they're well suited as a couple based off of that?
So Noah is a Scorpio sun and AJ is a Taurus sun. That is their opposite signs on the zodiac wheel. So they're each other's opposition. They're both like the fixed. She's water and she's earth and he's water.
Yeah.
And so those couples can either be like amazing, like deep dark ocean with tall dark forest, or they can be like muddy, messy, whatever. I think in
Ooh.
AJ and Noah's case, they are compatible. Like I wanted him to be the immovable force. No, she's the immovable force, unstoppable object. No, other way around. Unstoppable force, immovable object.
Yeah.
So she's the force, he's the object, and I wanted
Yeah.
them to like have that. I wanted them to have like equal weight in their signs. And the only
Wow.
thing that's really annoying about it is that fire and water is like a big motif in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking
I
that.
really wanted it to be that she was like a fire sign and he was a water sign, but those two elements are not compatible at all.
Right.
So my compromise was that I put her birthday on a fire earth cusp. So she's like kind of a fire sign, but like they are astrologically compatible because she's
Yeah.
actually a Taurus. Yeah.
Wait,
So
I
who
love
were you
that.
making these compromises with? Yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Correct.
My inner truth.
My inner truth.
I love that.
This was all fun and games, Emma, but we need to get down to your origin story. And
That's
we've
right.
heard that you were inventing and telling stories to your younger siblings way before you were physically writing them. So we need to know, what was 6-year-old Emma storytelling to her siblings?
That would have been like Boxcar Children / Olsen twin.
Oh my
like,
God, yes.
cosplay era. So
Yeah.
like digging a pool in my backyard. I made them dig a pool. My sister is not my twin. She's 2 years younger. We don't look alike, really. I think we do more as we get older, but as kids, we didn't. And I made her dress up in identical outfits with me, and we made business cards, and we went around our
Oh my
neighborhood
God.
and like
That's incredible.
little business cards being like, "We'll solve your mysteries."
Shut up. Did anybody go for it?
No.
They're like, can you find my car keys, please?
Yeah. Can you find out who's spamming our mailboxes?
Exactly. That's incredible. And that's so fun for the two of you. Like, that's just such a unique bonding experience. So I love
It
that.
was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved around. So that was like, we were in Illinois at the time and we had sidewalks, which was like really novel because like most of my childhood was in Connecticut, which is like hilly and there's no way to walk around. So we had this like weird bubble of independence and we became sleuths.
We know this. There is nothing like a Midwest kid with your parents just sending you out that front door and they're like, they'll make it back from the neighborhood at some point.
They'll be back
100%.
when they're back. Yeah.
100%.
I love that. Well, I am a huge improv fan, like massive. When I lived in Chicago, I would drag people to Second City at any chance that I could get. And you did improv at UCB for years before this book existed. Did you ever consider going on SNL or going for it?
That is very flattering to me.
I mean, I don't see why not. Okay.
I was like an outskirts person. I was not like on a house team. I took the classes.
Okay.
I was like good enough
to
be like useful to my teammates. But at that age, so I'm 37 now. At that time I would have been like 23, 24, 25, 26.
Yeah.
I could not be vulnerable at all. Like I would never have been able to like really do what AJ and Noah do, but I was fascinated by it. Like I was really intrigued by the ability to like walk on stage and do whatever came into your head.
Right.
Like I think I have like decent response time. I have a good like reference base, or I did back then. I don't know. I haven't kept up with pop culture. That's why I write about the early aughts.
Respect.
But I think that was never even like a remote possibility in my mind.
Improv is really vulnerable. And I personally, when I was reading it in your book and I see other people doing it, it gives me the worst secondhand anxiety ever. But like the way that you wove improv into your book, it also made it like very romantic. Like you're always working with this person. It's always like, yes, and so do you feel like there is romance in improv? Is that why you put it in the book?
I think there is trust in improv, and I think that there is romance in trust, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you can have a really terrible improv interaction. Like I can remember class shows I had where you're like up on stage and it's like the person you're with is not working with you at all, and you have no choice but to sort of like keep going and sort of dance around them and try to make them look good, even as they're doing everything in their power to try to make you look bad.
God. This is what
Worst
gives me
nightmare.
anxiety. Yes,
Worst
this is what gives
nightmare.
me anxiety.
Well, so it's like it's
Sleep
possible to
paralysis
have a
demon.
horrible improv experience, but
Yeah.
I think with AJ and Noah, it becomes this language that they use, this like it's like an unspoken vocabulary because so much of their connection is nonverbal. But it's that ability to like just be with someone in this space and know that no matter what, they're going to catch you. I think that is very romantic. And so when improv works, it like really works in that way.
Yeah. There's just this inherent safety to it from what it sounds like. Or to your point, you're like, no matter what, I know this person has my back.
Yes. Yeah.
So did you ever try to date an improv partner?
Oh my God. Several.
Oh, makes sense. Fair.
I'm like, the way you just sold me on this, I'm 100% dating everybody I get on stage with.
Full stop.
That's right.
They have no say in the matter.
But did they all fizzle out as soon as you left the stage?
That's so funny. I'm trying to think if I ever actually did have like a connection on stage. Like I feel like I always met people at like after parties. Well, because a lot of the time you're like with your own team. Yeah. And so you'll be in a show with like a bunch of different teams. So you get to like observe other people, but you're not necessarily like with them. Like the jam, which is the structure that's in the book, which is where anyone can volunteer and show up. So you get like a mix of like really great people, really terrible people. Like that person definitely has never taken a class and is just here for the booze. Like it's like you get this like real cavalcade of freaks. That's pretty rare. Like for the most part, improv is like, in order to have that safety, like the trade-off you make is like, you usually close the circuit and you're with people that you've like pre-selected, that you kind of know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. My mind is blown by this. Truly, you have said that the bond between AJ and Noah is basically this like force connection energy from Star Wars, and specifically Reylo, the side of the fan fiction world that some of us are obsessed with. Some people don't really know a lot about, and I'm going to call her out.
Some people just found out who Darth Vader was 3 weeks ago.
Correct. And there's obviously a lot of sci-fi elements throughout this book. So what do you say to someone, aka Emily, who I'm going to call out, who has genuinely never seen a single Star Wars movie and needs to be sold on why they shouldn't be intimidated by that part, or thinks that it's not going to be for them because of that?
I don't know, man. Like,
you're like, watch the movie.
It's funny. Like, so my publisher, Jenna Bush Hager, doesn't watch any Star Wars. So it's been this like
same
thing from the beginning where I have certain people on my team who are like my editor is a fellow nerd. Like we're like in this together with every reference. And then I also have like my publisher who's like, we want this to work for everyone. So that's been a huge, just part of the artistic process on this book is figuring out how far we can push certain things. And it's like, it's not just the sci-fi, it's also the improv. It's also, it's every like strange rabbit hole that we could have really drilled further down into. Like we could have spent a lot of time on SNL lore, and we tried to like make it so that it's like just enough. So I think my hope is that for the whole point of the book was to be welcoming and to give the experience of like what it's like to be a part of fandom, even if you are not part of any fandom.
Do you agree that they are like these archetypes that make your book expandable to so many audiences? I remember when Cassie and I were reading it, we were like, okay, we have a friend that only reads Ellen Hildebrandt, and I swear she would love this book. Like we have friends that will only read like romantasy, and we swear they would love this book. It was almost like this culmination of so many different genres in one book. And did you purposely make that happen, or is that just like where your brain headed?
It's interesting. It's such a great question. I had been thinking a lot about doing something with a force connection. I'd been reading a lot of rom-coms, and the book kind of starts out in a rom-com universe, which is like maybe why you think your Ellen Hildebrandt fan would like it. Like her books aren't rom-coms always. Like she does like all kinds of things, but like they do have this like setting as character with Nantucket. Right. But I knew that I wasn't going to level out. Like there's a point where like the book crosses out of rom-com land forever and it can never return because the
Yep.
stakes go through the roof. And I felt like regret and sadness when that happened. Like I knew it was going to from the beginning, but I hated leaving that sort of like softer small town thing.
Yeah.
But like I
It
knew that
like
this was
it
the journey.
opens them up. It felt like at that point it opened the characters up for a lot more judgment from the reader. Were you
Yeah.
scared
Yeah,
of
for
that?
sure. For sure. Well, so I think basically like once we cross out of that, it starts to have very epic stakes, which sort of
Right.
mirror almost the structure of a romantasy. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I had not read any romantasy while I wrote Into the Blue, and then I read Fourth Wing, and then I read ACOTAR, and I'm
Yep.
obsessed with both
Of course.
series. And it was funny, I had a conversation with my editor. Well, she's not actually my editor anymore. She ended up passing on Into the Blue. But I was like, I've just written this book. I wasn't ready to show her yet. I sent it to her like probably 6 months later. I was like,
Yeah.
I've written a draft of this book. I just read this book, Fourth Wing. Like, I think I might have accidentally like written a character who plays a shadow daddy on TV
Yes.
No, literally.
without paying attention, without meaning to. And it was like, it was because I was just thinking about Force Connection. I was just thinking about Kylo
Right.
Ren. I didn't know anything. Like, and now I can't imagine my life without like ACOTAR, those series. But like at the time, I hadn't read any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just was one of those weird like things where like I hit the zeitgeist kind of without meaning to. It was because I like rom-coms, but I was like, but I'm really dark, and I don't
Fully.
think
Yeah.
like I
Fully.
don't. Yeah. So it ended up being this like weird sort of timing coincidence.
Yep.
And then it's interesting, like just thinking about like what readers crave, like what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I enjoy rom-coms romantasies as a reader. So it's
Yep.
not surprising to me that like that there's like a crossover there. Like that's kind of my dream actually. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you
Cool.
achieved that. It's unbelievable. It's so impressive to your point, like how much of the crossover there can be in terms of the tropes and the types of characters and the dynamics, but it can kind of be a genre bending situation. I am really interested though, because the book was positioned as a love story, which I feel like genre wise gets put in the romance category.
Yeah.
But it also read as a literary fiction. And to M's point, like you can really put this anywhere. Do you feel like that is where the genre is going on the romance side? Like, do you feel like we're starting to get more, we're pushing those boundaries more, we're making the stakes higher? Because right now, where it stands in contemporary romance, like you have the third act breakup and that's the stake, right?
Yeah.
And like that's kind of it. Do you feel like you're starting to see that, particularly with how readers have received this story?
It's a great question, and it's hard to say. Like I definitely think um I think they're for different reasons. Like they
Mm,
exist for different purposes. So it's like we all go to like different genres because we are in a contract with that writer. Like I
yeah,
think it's like you read a rom-com because like the contract is a happily ever after and you
right.
just
Right.
want comfort, and that's the contract you've made. Like you read a thriller because you want everything to be explained
Yep.
by the end of the story. And the like contract is that there's going to be order and
Yeah.
method. And by
Yeah.
the end, it's going to be like a payoff intellectually, but also like it's going to put the scary stuff where it's supposed to be, and it's going to give you a rundown, and everything's going to be like boxed in. And
Right.
I
Right.
think with something like this, the contract is like catharsis. You're coming to it because you like, what is longing? Like, why do we want to read about longing? Like, why is
Right.
yearning a thing? It's like we all have so much unprocessed grief, like from COVID alone.
Right.
Um, and everyone's carrying around whatever they're carrying around. And so a book like this, where it's like, why would you read something that might make you cry? It's like, because you need to cry, because
Yep.
like
Yeah.
they're carrying something and you want it out. And I
It's a
think
safe space to cry.
Right.
yes. And hopefully, like I'm not giving away the ending, but it's like you might like depending on what happens, like you should get a catharsis out of it, whether they end
Yeah.
up together or not. Like you should
Yep.
walk away feeling like you understand and you've gone through the full grief arc and you've landed in acceptance. And that's so it's like I think this is sort of like a different thing. And it's interesting, like with the positioning of the book, we had two jackets. We had Into the Blue, a novel, and we had Into the Blue, a
Mm.
love story. And
Oh.
I was like, I want it to be under love story.
Yeah.
Because I want the readers who come to this to be like fully on board for the big picture and all of it and the sex.
Right.
I don't want this to be vilified for having spice in it, which if it's targeted
Yeah,
at a literary audience, that will become very
that's fair.
divisive.
That is fair.
Whereas romance readers are like down to explore and
You
like
Yeah.
were like, give
like
us more.
Yeah.
they're like, this is beautiful, which is like how I intended it to be, not
Right.
salacious.
Right.
So that was like I had a choice about like
Yeah.
which road to go down, and I chose love story.
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting how, I won't give this away, but the sex scenes in the book don't occur until like 50% plus, right? Throughout the plot. And so it's so interesting that even that could be something that could be picked apart by a particular audience, depending on the positioning, when
Yep.
there's so much buildup and there's
so
much
more
development.
happening.
You
There's
know,
so much more.
it's so interesting.
Whereas like if you compare structurally to a romantasy,
Right.
sex often doesn't happen until 50%. So it's like
Yep.
the book is a slow burn, and
Yep.
that was very intentional. Like he is a book boyfriend,
Yes.
and it's I'm messing with, time and space. It's like a whole theme in the book because I make the days where he is there last for pages and pages and pages, and the
Right.
years where he's not, they basically don't exist in the book. Like we brush over them. But
Right.
what it amounts to, like page wise, is ultimately a slow burn that really structurally, on like a skeletal level, is very
Yep.
similar to what you would get in book one of a romantasy.
Agreed.
Yeah, true.
Agreed.
Which Cassie and I were talking about. We're like, Noah, when he was in his house with her, was giving a lot of shadow daddy energy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is my house. I'll
In the
take
best
care
way.
of you.
My chair, my woman. Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Very much that. Absolutely.
But also at the same time, Noah was very emotional, and he was very in touch with his emotions and intelligent and thoughtful, and it's very much different than like that alpha shadow daddy male lead that you get in a lot of romances. So did you intentionally do that? Like, how did you come to that space with Noah?
Such a great question. I had spent a lot of time with him mentally, like before I started to write him. And when I sat down to do it, I gave them a lot of time as well. Like the version that we published is much sleeker than the original, where
Oh.
they were like, it took like it didn't originally start with them working together. It
Yeah.
started with her getting lessons from Eudora, and like they were intersecting more at Drew House, and I gave them a lot of space. Like he sort of, this is like very, very, very early drafts. Like he
Right.
sort of orbited her for a while, and then eventually they sit down and talk. So as a writer, that gave me a lot of time to sort of try on different techniques, like the inscrutable staring and like the lurking and like all the
Yeah.
stuff that is like either hot or creepy depending on how you execute it.
Yeah.
And then it was really when they started talking to each other and she's learning his backstory, which again, in the beginning, like my early drafts, was a much slower cadence. Like they were really having conversations. And it was like understanding how he responded to things and like his level of empathy and understanding and just like how keyed into her he was.
Right.
It starts to beget more questions, and then it's like he's a very, very compassionate person.
Yep.
So, but only selectively. Like he only cares about the people he cares about, and like does not care about anyone else. So, I think really it was like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to try to flesh him out. Like there was no like objective. It was more just like, I really gave him time to develop, and I had a lot of patience with him and with myself. And then ultimately, like we did end up redoing a lot of that to make it like go faster.
Yeah.
Even though I still wanted to do a slow burn. But by then I had spent a decent amount of time like marinating in his energy and in who he was and in his responses. So by having like internalized that, I think I was able to like keep, hopefully, some of the complexity, even though we had fewer pages.
right?
Oh,
No,
100%. I
it was
mean,
all
from the
there.
beginning. Yeah, from
Yeah,
the beginning, we were all like, we read this with our book club, and part of our book club is we read the first like 10 chapters together live. And we
yeah.
were all
Oh my
like,
God,
what
so
is
cool.
Noah hiding? What's going on with Noah? We're so obsessed with these two. We love Noah already, but
Truly.
what is he hiding?
Truly. I have not been taken that quickly in a very long time. So it was very impressive. The time that you sat with Noah was well worth it.
In
But
10 chapters, we were bought in.
truly. But the other piece that was so interesting, and we're starting to get into a little bit of spoilery territory for anyone who's listening. So the the open and closed connection that they had between Noah and AJ, the imagery of that literally wrecked us every single time. Like, I am not a very imaginative person with my brain. Like, I'm not able to see things super well. And I felt like the way that you wrote it just hit me in the gut every single time. And you clearly kind of built this entire fandom around this like black room and the hair dryer and things like that. Were those things that always stuck with you? Like, did you start there as you were writing and you were like, I need to put this emotional obsession in here so that others feel it? Or like, how did you go through that and what was the purpose?
I love that question. And the answer is no. Like, I'm so happy that like something boiled through to the top that like people grabbed onto, and it's become like this very cool like password sort of to say hairdresser
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes.
Um, and I hoped that there would be something like that because it's my
Yeah.
book about fandom.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I didn't know like what it was going to be. Like, my candidate was like, "Oh, I know what's going to catch on. Can art not be cerebral and hot?" That's like, I was like, I wanted that on like all the marketing material. Like, I was like,
That's
this
the
is
tattoo on her ribs. She's like,
this is what's gonna hit.
yeah.
This is what every woman, man cares about. That's the phrase. You wait, and like,
I bet I highlighted it, Emma. Don't worry. It's definitely
appreciate you.
highlighted in my
Thank
Kindle.
you.
Yeah.
And then
Never
now we're all just screaming hair
Hair
dryer.
dryer.
which is like amazing. And it's like, that's a real acting exercise. Like, the acting exercises are all real. Like, that was an area where I like, so I was a theater minor in college, which I mostly took those classes to like get better at writing dialogue. And it's a really, like, if you're an aspiring writer, like, reading plays is such a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I learned a bunch of method acting exercises from John Aston, who ran my program, and I put them in, and we had to really cut it down because I didn't want the acting and the magical connection to feel like it wasn't earned. Like, I
Right.
wanted us to follow every step of this thing, and we do, but like, it used to be way more plotting. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think with like the black room and all of that, that's an amalgamation of different things. Like, the collective unconscious is the term that Del Close uses in Truth and Comedy. And I made a sort of Del Close character who's more of a mystic. And that's Izel Farr, and his book is Laughter and Death.
Yeah.
And it goes a little harder at certain things. Like, it's almost like Games People Play by Eric Byrne meets like Tao wisdom meets like Truth and Comedy.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you even come up with these things? I'm in shock.
That's so nice. Yeah, it's honestly like, I think when I'm in the zone, I'm open to things that are a lot bigger than myself.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can see where everything came from my lived experience, but the sort of
Yeah.
how did these two things come together and become something new? The
Yeah.
alchemy of it is like part of the mystery and part of what makes getting to write a
Right.
book like this like the most thrilling thing that can happen to you.
After
Yeah.
writing this, do you believe that this connection is achievable? Like, do you think that a real life human being could achieve this?
Did you
Yeah,
set
I
the
mean,
bar too high?
they're pretty specific circumstances, right? Like, I
Yeah.
think you can't have this connection for so long without some of the really dark stuff that's also
Right.
operating in the background of the book. Like, that is
Right.
100% why Noah never grows beyond his connection to AJ.
Right.
But I think like within the realm of like, could you take improv classes and spend a lot of nonverbal time with someone and eventually get to the point where you can scent them and intuit their thoughts and like be very aware of their presence and like their reactions. That has 100% happened to me. You can totally do it. It's go take your
Kevin.
So Kevin is not a performer. Though he is a Scorpio like Noah. So I gave Noah that. And he's very intuitive in a different way, but yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, so I am obviously shell-shocked, impressed. I'm losing my words talking to you because it's just so impressive how you're able to like explain all of your thoughts around this huge book. And another part of it that we haven't even talked about is that you created a full TV show within your story, and it had its own fandom, Astronauticals. So how were you able to do that? Like, I almost felt like I was in a multiverse within the book.
Yeah, that's awesome. Again, it was just so much fun. When I was getting ready to write it, like I knew a few things that I wanted to have in the book that were sort of like vague landmarks way out in the desert that I was kind of like walking to one step at a time. And one of them was that I wanted them to have this show, and I wanted there to be like a backstory, and I wanted it to be visceral. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how they could be in a show together that would be spontaneous. Yeah. Because if you've ever seen like recorded footage of what it looks like to make a show, it's mind-numbing. It's like so repetitive. It's people saying the same words over and over again. They don't necessarily film in order. So figuring out like to do it as a docudrama, as a way of like letting their improv connection like be a through line, like that was a big breakthrough. And I think like when it came down to actually like doing the show, it's that moment like we were talking about at the beginning where it's like, you know, is the blank page scary, this and that? It's like they're not actually improvising, like I'm writing it all for them. So that part was really fun because it's like, okay, whatever show I want, they're going to come up with it, and like that's fine. And from there, it was just this joyful thing of like, I love Firefly, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, I love Star Wars, I love Star Trek. And like I've watched all of them enough that it's like I've racked up enough hours to have a master's degree. I can absolutely sit down and come up with 12 episodes, just plot points. Like I didn't write.
So impressive.
Well, it's very sweet. It's nice to have something to show for all the time that I've spent rewatching Star Trek.
I was going to say it did feel like it was written by a true fangirl, you know, like I similarly grew up as such a fangirl of like all of these franchises. And like, as I was reading it, I was just getting all of those feelings bubble up. And it is such a visceral thing that like you really only know if you're in it. But then I feel like the way that you wrote it, it was like, no, you can all feel this. You can all feel this with me.
That's awesome.
I really wanted an Astronauticals t-shirt after. Have people been calling for you to create them?
On a daily basis.
Yes. Put it on your website.
We have, so this is like the complicated thing with this situation. So we did a promo shirt for Astronauticals way back before the book pubbed. It's really cute. It's like blue. It's got pink writing. My publisher owns that design. So I was getting like daily calls from people, like daily DMs, like give us the shirt. And so
shirt.
I have two people right now who are in my DM. Where is the shirt?
That's amazing.
I just put up a bunch of stickers, so it's like, which will all be on by the time that people hear this episode. But it's like, I'm also a pleaser. Like I want to give the people what they want. We are doing an out of print version of the Astronautical shirt, but it's like a slow road because we're working with a vendor and it's like contracts, this and that. The contract has been signed. We're like hoping to have something to release soon. And in the meantime, I put up this other design that we had, which is like the Summer of the Gothic Sex Mansion crop top.
Crop top!
We've sent out like 125 of them. Like it's been like this insane thing. And like my favorite posts are the posts where people are like out with my crop top, and it's like it doesn't say Into the Blue anywhere. It just says Summer of the Gothic Sex Mansion, and there's like a little like, pink postcard.
I
It's
need
so
this
fun.
crop top like I need my next breath. Okay. That
Yeah,
sounds
like
incredible.
I'm sure you were never sitting there writing this book like, oh my God, I'm gonna get hassled for merch after I
Yeah.
release this book.
I'm gonna be a crop top. It was a
Right.
bestseller on Etsy. There were pirates. Like, people came for the crop top.
That's
This was like a
incredible.
large chunk of my May this year was like figuring
Wow.
out, like, I guess I'm a vendor now. Like,
Right.
That is
I guess
so
I have an
funny.
Etsy shop.
fun.
So you talked a lot about like the inherent improv like within the kind of structure of the show, and that kind of brings me into the ending,
Mm.
which the final show, Fire and Water, was some of the most beautiful, heartbreaking, all of the things that we have read in a really long time. And it's like basically them having this long drawn out fight in a really beautiful way. How did you decide to write this? How did you pull this out? Because it's just this one great act of like empathy and like putting
Mm.
yourself in someone else's shoes in a really unique way.
Mm.
And I was so captivated by it, where I was like, what is the inspiration of this? Like, where does this come from?
I love that. Thank you so much. That's so kind.
Yeah.
I love that part too. It was really fun to write. Like, it was really I was really sad at that point. Like, I was like
Yeah.
pretty numb. And I remember I'd been working at like a fairly steady pace for about 5 months. And this would have been like November of 2023.
Okay.
And I just got to the point where I was like about to write the plays. And I was just like, I got to do this in one. Like, it felt like just this weight of it had gotten so heavy.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I like said goodnight to my husband and like came in here and I wrote I wrote until like 3 a.m. and I just wrote
Wow.
plays like in one sitting. And they went through one edit that was just me alone. Like, no one gave me feedback. It was just like one edit where I sort of like cranked up the tension a bit.
Yeah.
And then that no one's really touched them. And it's like, it really does feel like one of those like romantic writing experiences where like at
Wow.
that point I'd put in so much time with these characters that it just kind of channeled. And
Yeah.
I knew the whole time that I wanted this book to be like a play can save your life. And I wanted it to be like, this is their conversation, this is their argument, like they're presenting their arguments to each other as they do this.
Right.
And I had like a few inklings. I also wanted there to be callbacks to like other things that had happened in the plays, like part of
Yeah.
their inspiration.
Yeah.
So it was just this really like incredible experience getting it out.
Yeah.
And it felt like flying. Like, that's like when it's really like when you're really going like that, it was really cool. Like one of the pieces of improv dogma I love is like you should always play to the height of your intelligence, which means like if you're playing a lawyer, even if you know nothing about being a lawyer, like you pull out all the stops of like everything you've ever seen on TV, everything ever.
Yeah.
And it was
Right.
like I felt like I was playing to like the height of my own existence when I was writing this, which is like so cool and meta because like that's the point of
Yeah.
the book. Like, you play till you reach the limits of existence. So it was unbelievable. Like just a really, really cool thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It
Oh.
felt that way as the reader,
Oh, I have
genuinely.
chills
Like,
right now.
same. I'm like, I
That's
need to go
amazing.
reread it tonight. No,
Well,
it felt that way. Like, you go through this entire story, and to your point, like, you're emotionally just spent almost like with them. And then you get into this, and like you said, like, it's just, you feel like you're at the precipice of something. And to hear that that's where you were as the writer is just unbelievable. And again, it translates so beautifully. So, wow.
that's
I'm floored.
amazing. It was just like
This
I don't
and-
like. Yeah,
Go
I don't know.
ahead,
I
Emma.
didn't know that it would resonate with anyone other than me. Like, I was like, I'm gonna like I was like, I'm driving myself crazy writing this book, and like I had no idea if anyone would respond to it at all. Because like when you're the writer, you feel things so deeply. Like,
Oh my
Right.
I
God.
think all writers feel their characters deeply. So
Right.
getting to hear you guys say stuff like that is really special because it's like, I don't know.
Emma, I
Oh.
was literally when you were like, this is a cathartic book. Yes, specifically the end. I was so nauseous, upset, angry. in love, I'm feeling so much romance. Like, I went through every wave of emotion. I'm literally sweating thinking about it right now. Like, I have never felt that in my body reading a book before or been in that setting in a book before. It was just a unique experience. And that's why everybody has to read this book.
That's right. True. That's
It was amazing. Okay, my earlier question, which this is like just fun and kind of like, what's next for Emma? And is it a romantasy book?
Oh.
Ooh. I never say no. Like, I feel like I could write a killer romantasy that's like
Agreed.
slightly based on publishing. So like each of the different kingdoms are like a different publishing house I've worked at. But like,
Wait,
you have
I
to
love
figure out
that.
who they are. Like, this is my like pie in the sky fantasy of my own romantasy series.
I'm
That said,
obsessed.
it is so hard to write romantasy. Like, I have
Yeah.
so much respect for the authors that can do it, who like not only like can coordinate like fight scenes and like battles, like that stuff is crazy. And I don't know that I have like inherent aptitude for that. But they also know things like they know what armor is. Like they're like, yeah, his gauntlet. Like, what's a gauntlet? Like, I don't know. So it's like there's this
you could write an urban fantasy.
True.
That's set in the early 2000s, you know? Like
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I mean,
never say never. I never say never. I'm open to anything. Like, what I want for the next thing is I want to feel excited about it, and I don't want it to just be because I want to like follow up Into the Blue. Like, it's like, I think I don't like Into the Blue, like the ship has sailed. Like, it was amazing, and I like love this book beyond words, and like whatever happens next, if it's trying to be the next Into the Blue, I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna have contempt for it.
Yeah.
So it's like figuring out giving myself some space to like be like, okay, like I want to fall in love again. I want to do all of this again, but I want it to be like its own thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna have to say this ship hasn't sailed. This book is getting adapted 100%.
If it doesn't, I will write it.
We're gonna start a production company. We will produce this book. I mean, it is literally made to be a television show.
It is. It really is.
See your space whale. This is going to be amazing.
We have no connections in Hollywood, but we will do this for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah. We got
Appreciate you.
We've got it.
But speaking of that, is that something that you think about? Like, if this could be something that could be adapted on the big or small screen?
For sure. Yeah. So it's been optioned. Like, I'm not able to really give details at this time, but the idea would be a TV show. And it's my grandchild. I had the baby, and now it's not up to me whether it has its own baby. So I'm like, all right, I'm around to babysit if you need me, but otherwise, it's 3% of things get made. And when I did my first book, I was attached as the writer, so I was very involved. And I'm not like, I would totally do it again, but I think because this one had such a long life in drafts, like I really adapted it already because it was like initially huge, and now it's like its svelte commercial self. I feel like I'm very happy to let someone else interpret it and run with it.
Okay, Emma, if you had one thing to leave with our listeners about Into the Blue, what would it be?
I would say that, worst case scenario, it's entertaining for a few hours, and like best case scenario, like there's something in there that resonates with you and that makes you feel like you have permission in your life to explore what lights you up. Like, you can, if it's a nerdy thing you're ashamed of, you don't need to be as ashamed. If it's like a far-flung dream that you feel like is very out of reach, like maybe it's not. And I think a lot about this book is like examining the possibility of retracing your steps when that feels impossible, and the way that we talk ourselves out of the things we want when we're young and tell ourselves they're impractical, and ultimately like a lot of us end up looping back and being like, that thing actually was what defines me, and I really want to pursue it. So I think like my hope is that like beyond just being an entertaining thing to read, it's like, a moment for you to take stock and say like, I actually do want to like try that. Like, and I
Yeah.
should. Like,
Yeah.
time on earth
And
is limited.
And I know we talked a lot about Noah here, but I found so much solace in AJ as a character. Like that is my soul sister. And like exactly what you were saying. I felt everything of that in her, and just her
Mm,
consistent perseverance
mm.
in so many different ways was just unbelievable to read and so inspiring. So
Oh,
that's something that I'll keep with me for forever from this story. But I hope that other readers also do, because that was just so beautifully captured.
oh, thank you. That's
It's our
beautiful.
top recommended book of the year. We've recommended to everybody that says, "Do you have a book recommendation?" We're like, yeah,
Into the book.
add this to TBR.
That's right.
That's
And everybody loves it.
amazing.
That's right.
Thank you. That's
Well,
amazing.
thank you so much for being here. This was such a lovely conversation, and it was so great to meet you. For those of you who have not read Into the Blue, go get it right now. I don't care what you're
Yes.
doing, go. If you've read it, let's reread it again together, because I'm about to start after this. If you're looking for Emma on Instagram, she's at Emma C. Brodie, and we'll stay tuned for what's next. But thank you so much again for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. You guys were the best.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you same time, same place. Grab your blankets, grab your book boyfriends. We'll see you then.
See ya.